Hey, welcome to Between the Ears Baseball Podcast. I'm your host, Curtis Pelche, mental performance coach. Here we're bringing on coaches, players, scouts, baseball people to talk baseball. Their views and experience in recruiting, player development, and mental performance. If you're playing pro ball, college, high school, or just a parent trying to manage the matrix of travel ball, this podcast is for you. Here we go. This episode is brought to you by No Surrender Baseball. No Surrender Baseball, offering batting gloves and player gloves. Not only do these gloves offer top-notch grip, comfort, and durability, but they also embody the no surrender mindset. And that's why I love this. When you're wearing these gloves, you're not just gearing up for the game, you're stepping onto the field with a mindset of resilience, determination, and an unwavering commitment to push yourself to new heights. So, next time you're gearing up to play, remember to channel the no surrender mindset and elevate your game with No Surrender Baseball batting gloves. Go to the website, nosurrenderbaseball.com, put in BTEP25 at checkout. It's a discount code, gets you 25% off. For the Between the Ears podcast listeners, again, that's BTEP25. You get 25% off some sick new gear. Episode 17, Tony Bitker. Tony is the founder of No Surrender Baseball. No Surrender Baseball, sick batting gloves. They're the sponsor of this show. They do unreal custom player gloves as well. Supplements, they got it all going on. Tony's really created a cool product here. Tony and I have a lot in common. Tony used to play a little indie ball, a little college ball, and Tony's into the motivation world now, a little performance coaching. But yeah, look forward to you listening to this one. Tony Bitker, episode 17. Here we go. Here we go. What's going on? Tony Bitker. Did I say that?
Yep. I said that perfectly.
Perfect. Where are you at? Are you in Sacramento like your phone says?
No, I'm not in Sacramento anymore. We actually just moved to Texas last October, so we are almost going to be here a year coming in October.
Where in Texas, sorry?
So we live in Conroe, Texas.
Okay.
It's about 40 minutes north of Houston.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jump on old 45 there and get after it.
45, head to Conroe. We live right on the Lake Conroe out here.
Okay, nice. I used to live just north of Dallas in Sherman, Denison.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Love me some Texas, dude.
Yeah, man, it's been kind of a dream come true, to be honest. We loved California, just didn't align with our core values anymore, and headed out here to Texas.
So that was it. The core values, I listen to Joe Rogan, so I've heard this story before in a sense, it's like, all right, let's head out there.
Yeah, the core values, the homelessness, it's basically for our kids. Like, it just got to the point to where just didn't really feel that safe letting your kids outside and with all the homelessness and, everything going on. So we just decided to head out south.
And you were in Sacramento?
Yeah, we lived in Sacramento for several years, yeah.
Okay, well.
Yeah. And where are you located at, Curse?
I'm in Victoria, BC. I'm up in Canada.
Okay. Oh, cool. Okay.
Just hop on a little float plane from Seattle and you're in Victoria in 20 minutes.
Oh, awesome. I actually was just in Canada a little while ago for work. So
where?
I was in Alberta, and then also we went up to that.
It was like in Texas. It's just kind of they do things better there.
Yeah, and then we went to a big ski resort. I can't remember what it was called. Up there in the mountains.
Yeah, there's lots of mountains and ski resorts.
Yeah. But I really like what you do, man. I really appreciate you having me on the show. And
it just kind of came from, I work with Sam every day, who had a headband on, and he had one pink glove and one blue glove, and he was getting them all going. And we do remote work together. I do a lot of mental work, but I also work with them in the hitting and the catching side remotely. Like I've done most programming for him, and I'll just sit here on Zoom and watch him work and yell at him and be like, "Okay, pace." And I was like, "What are those gloves? Those are sick." And he told me about them. And that's when I reached out to you. I looked you up and I'm like, God, they only have 200 followers. Like, what's going on here? This should be way, way bigger than that.
Yeah, so we just kind of started the page. I mean, not even, I think it's been a month, barely. I have my own personal page that I really worked on for a long time. I think I have like over 100,000 followers or something like that.
So,
So then switching gears and trying to move to just a new page, it's been tough, but we're getting it little by little. It's coming and coming and coming,
so
but
start with supplements.
it did. So the no surrender lifestyle kind of started, with me in my life, and like as far as it really hit me in 2021. I got COVID pneumonia,
Mm.
and I was hospitalized for almost 2 months. Basically dying in a hospital room, and just praying to God, and just my overall demeaning attitude has always been just never give up, never
Yeah.
give in, no matter what anybody tells you, I won't quit, so, and that's kind of like I was laying there, and then when I got out, I was like, man, everybody said like you've always changed so many lives and doing so many different things, you really need to start doing stuff like that. So I came up with like the no surrender mindset and started motivational speaking at corporate places and events and mindset events and stuff like that, to just kind of get in line with people and to change their mindset, because as mindset is everything. And when I played college ball, and even a little bit of professional ball, I was even called, I mean, in college, I was junior college, is called a mental midget at times, right? Because you're just stressing so much on everything you do and trying to get to the next level, and it's just your brain is just fogged.
Yeah, I mean, you're stressed on everything in the future, and you can't do anything right in the present. I had a
Yeah,
client meeting today, and I was like, let's focus on doing the easy shit well today. Let's
yeah,
just do the easy stuff right today. Don't worry about the big stuff. Did you make your bed? Did you brush your teeth? Are you clean? Did you shower? Are you going to be on time? Let's focus on those. Then you can
yeah,
go tackle the other stuff. But you're a
yeah.
nightmare the easy shit. So, like, let's not worry about the big stuff yet, dude.
And I always say, one of the greatest gifts that we can give ourselves is to accept life as it is, right? Just accept it. Just accept as it is, and put it out there what you want it to be, and then just go for that goal. It's funny that you reached out to me, because it's like perfect timing, the mindset, perfect time, because on Monday I was actually let go of my job.
Okay. Okay.
Big corporate job. I was a VP of sales in the biotech pharma industry for years, and came out of the blue. Um, so it's just been crazy, and I started watching all your stuff once
Yep.
we linked up and stuff, and I'm like, this has to be on point with where my mind is going at the time, because you start thinking negative, right? It's like negative, 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 negative. It's like, no, you got to switch it off. I started watching all your stuff, Curtis, and it just brought me back to why I am who I am, and why I need to be so positive and change that mindset instantly before it gets tatered.
And it's funny. Like, it's funny you say that, Tony. It's because it really is daily work, and if we're not working at it daily, we can lose it fast. You get into corporate sales, you can get into a mindset, you can start to immerse yourself into different cultures that eat away, and not even by choice, just by default, because you're not working your ass off at staying with your core values, as you spoke about. You get into this corporate industry, you get into these things, and you forget about it, and then unfortunately, you get an unfortunate reminder, and it brings you back sometimes. It's some of these
Yeah,
hitting bottom moments. I'm not saying you hit bottom, but some of these shitty moments can really benefit us.
yeah, yeah. I agree, and the having guys like you, and guys like Sam being on board, and some other athletes and stuff like that, is really pushing the brand, and getting us. Like my wife told me today, she's like, "Man, you're getting all these calls lately about no surrender. Like, maybe it's just time to focus every single thing you got into that and move forward." Obviously, we started no surrender for one, to make cool shit, right? We
Yeah,
want
it's not
we
true.
we wanted to make cool shit. And my son, he's 10 years old. He plays ball, and it was cool, like going through the process with him of like designing stuff and finding manufacturers and doing all that stuff. That was our thing. Was just like, hey, let's make some cool stuff and see who like wants it. It's never really been intended to be like, let's go and see how much money we can make. That's not really what the brand's about. The brand is about getting people on board and people that are using our gloves to have that no surrender mindset. Of course, yes, we want to make money, but at the end of the day, I just would really like to see the brand explode in as far as like people, when they see it and they see no surrender, they have that mindset of why they're wearing it, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
to
It's a reminder. It's a mental reminder. I mean, we need and with a lot of players I work with, they're like, oh shit, I forgot. I forgot about what I was working on when I got up to bat. So I'll make them put white tape in their helmet and write things on them, like kind of like a vision board in their helmet, or
right.
tape your wrists and draw an X with a heart around it. That very specific symbol will remind you of what we spoke about today. But having something to wear that can remind you of that just is way cooler than white tape and a Sharpie, is awesome. I love it. That's
And
why
Sam's dad actually mentioned that too. He's like, have you ever thought about putting a focal point on some of your stuff, right?
mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, that'd be great, but then like everybody has different focal points. Like, but I was really thinking like, on the glove on our mitts, and I could grab one for you here real quick, but it says no surrender, right? So like, whether and it says no surrender on the inside. So either you're a pitcher or a hitter, both sides of the alley there, you're kind of thinking like, I have no surrender. I'm not surrendering to you or anybody else. Like, even though it says your glove, I'm not surrendering to you, So it kind of just gave me the idea of putting that on there too.
Right away, I thought of my favorite movie, 300. Right? No retreat, no surrender. I can watch that movie 6 times a day and never get
Oh
bored.
yeah.
That mindset. So, why? Okay, so I kind of now understand why batting gloves and gloves, because you have a kid and you just want super
Yeah.
fun to make your kid.
Yeah.
So, like, walk me through the. Obviously, you're jacked, and you must get mistaken for Wes Watson all the time.
Now that I have a shaved head, yeah. I started losing my hair and I was like,
Beaming at people and telling people to screw off, and they'd be right in that niche, right?
right?
Actually, you don't have a neck tattoo or a Lambo, so hold on.
Yeah.
You'll get the
Yeah, or telling people they're stupid. So,
exactly. But no,
but
the supplement line, because I'm very interested in that, because I'm working with a company called All In Performance. A good friend of mine from California, Dave Pookie, who he's a trainer, black belt jiu-jitsu. And he was like, I want to make a pre-workout. Like, I want to make just a pre-workout. I don't want to do everything. So we went through the process. I've been a part of it, and we went through a company called NutriCap. And I don't know, like, I'm just curious as to how supplements started for you and what you do.
sure. So, supplements started for me because I've been working out since seventh grade. I remember picking up, weights in seventh grade in the weight room, benching, the 135 on the rack, right? And just like everybody pushing me to do it, because I've always been kind of broad shouldered, and they're like, come on, man, come on, you can do it. And I got on there and like it was easy, and I've never lifted anything. And like from that moment on, I have not missed any workouts. Like I work out every single day.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I do take some weekends off or what have you, but working out is my passion. I love workout. For one, it's good for my mind. It keeps that clear, keeps all the demons in there. The iron never lies, is the great saying. And I don't know, man. I just something about the endorphins and something about working out. So I've been big in the fitness industry for a long time and also training athletes. And I was a personal trainer after baseball for a long time. So then I thought, like, well, I've started to get this big following and, talking about, mindset and motivation and stuff like that. And I wanted to create supplements because I was like, well, everybody always asks me, what supplements am I taking? What am I using? What protein? What this? What that? So we created a brand, and I think we have some pretty good stuff. We do have more stuff coming aboard. Right now, we have a really good protein It's the whey isolate, cold fusion micronized whey protein. It's only got a 1 gram of sugar, 1 gram of carbs, and it's isolate, so it's super easy to mix, especially when you're looking to shred weight. Our pre-workout, game faced, it's good. Not everybody likes the taste. you know,
It's like,
it's like a pina colada, like
oh,
fruit. I'll have to send you some.
send me. Well, I'll send you some when we get ours. Ours is more of a sour gummy.
Yeah, so I'll have to send you some, but it's not more of the stem, it's more of like the nootropic side of it. So it's like a mind pump.
Much.
Yeah, so it's like a mind pump with a pump, and that's how I like it.
Okay. So
But
you based a lot of this on what you like and what you did, right?
yeah, what I liked, what I did, and then we created samples, my wife and I, and I worked out at several different gyms in Sacramento, so I'd always just pass out samples like, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? And then we started honing in on what we liked and what worked, and that's kind of where we're at. So we still got tons of more products to drop. We got reds and greens and some deer antler stuff and some new pre-workouts and all that kind of stuff. But right now, we just have protein, BCAAs, creatine, a pre-workout, a sleep aid, and a fat burner.
Process of getting it all made.
What's that?
What was the process of getting it all made?
It was a lot of work, man.
Right?
It took us about a year
Yeah.
to get things right in space. I know who NutriCap is. I know exactly who that is. And finding the right manufacturer, and then also finding the right people that like can host everything, and you can drop ship out of there and stuff like that. Because we're a one-man show over here. It's like I don't want to buy all like hundreds and hundreds of product and it just sit there, just in case it doesn't sell.
It's the curious part about it all is, when you start getting more things like batting gloves and clubs, we're selling merch with it, and we're like, well, do we hold the merch or do we drop ship it and get it sent to this place, and then they can send it with the supplements? And it's like, oh,
Right.
see this much and that much. And God, this is just too much math. Just stick to the
It,
pre-workout.
it is. It is. It's a lot. The same thing happened with us, and like with the merch, or like with all this stuff too, like the batting gloves and the custom mitts. The batting gloves, like with any merch, it's like, what sizes do you carry? How much of them do you carry? So like all these young kids were buying all the batting gloves, like little, like 9, 10, 11, 8, 7. And so I was just filling the market with young sizes. Well, I didn't even think about the older kids for some reason.
Some XLs.
Oh, XL, perfect. Okay. I think I have a couple. I may have some XLs, but I have more coming in.
Okay. Okay.
What color is this team?
Blue eye. They're very Miami.
Oh, my. Okay, cool.
But they're kind of that tealy blue kind of deal.
Okay. But it's tough, man. It's tough to find sizes. So now I catch myself where I have all these young youth sizes and then not enough big kid sizes. So it's an ever evolving system.
Yeah, and the batting gloves, they're kind of Bruce Bolt looking, right? Is that
Yes.
where that came?
Yes. Yeah. So it's
Lost your camera.
there we go. Um, yes. We have a lot of similarities to Bruce Bolt, right?
Yeah.
Just like anybody in the market, you want to make something that people love.
Cool.
They like the long cuff, the cool looking, the cool colors. So yes, we made our gloves very similar to Bruce Bolt's. There's a lot of similarities, just like anybody in the market, whatever baseball mitt or whatever there is.
It's such a great time for there needs to be more than one company. And God, I wish these were around when I played, because man, I used to rip through batting gloves, like just rip. I used to wear Newmans, like the football ones.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like, those were legit because they were thick.
Yeah.
And I didn't have to wear new ones. And I mean, I was junior college in North Texas, and I mean, shit, we had to buy our own tape from Walmart. We didn't have any. We had 4 or 5 helmets. Like, we didn't have gear. Right? So you're getting whatever you can.
Yeah, I was the same way. Like when I first started playing ball, like, my parents didn't have a lot, so we went to the Goodwill. I got my first pair of cleats from the Goodwill, and my uncle, he actually he has a ring with the A's, but he
Cool.
retired with the Rangers. Named Joe Bitker. He's a pitcher.
I Googled
Um,
you and I saw that guy and I was like, huh, interesting.
Yeah, so then he started like handing me down like hats and gloves and stuff. And like I remember he used to safety pin in his hats because they were too
Or,
big for me.
yeah,
But it worked, and like I mean, I still have one of the Zets he gave me that I played with all through
that
high
is
school
that is
and
that.
everything.
Sweet.
Yeah. So, you
Those
know,
were legit. They back when they had the glovesmith and Zet
yeah,
and
yeah.
the brands, yeah.
But the back to the batting gloves, so we searched up like what leather. Obviously, it's Cabretta, right? It's the best leather there is. And from what some people are saying is like they like them better than some of the Bruce bolts,
Okay.
which is great. We're still having a lot of, some certain things, some printing isn't right sometimes, some straps don't match sometimes, just manufacturing handmade issues, which I got guys like Sam helping me out with that kind of stuff, right? Where he'll be like, man, this is a little off here. Well, this doesn't seem right here. Like,
But
so
Sam just likes everything.
yeah. So it's really cool for us to have somebody like Sam aboard because the truth comes out and like we need that kind of
Mhm.
person that's picking things apart to help us get better in the industry, right?
He's using them every day, twice a day. You know it.
Yeah.
He was wearing them
I
yesterday
I,
and
I
today.
just packed up 3 more pairs for him to send out today. So, um, I got him some purple ones coming. Some of these, let's see, some of these coming here. Some of these like Miami
Oh,
orange,
they're
white, pink, yellow coming, and some red, white, and blue ones coming to them.
okay, sweet.
So, we got a lot of different things going. We're always making new colors. My goal is to really it just be for like the kids and the athletes and who really just loves what it looks like for one and love the meaning of it. Like
Mhm. Well, I
the
think
true,
the meaning is the cool part for me because a batting glove is a batting glove is a batting glove. After a
yeah,
while, right? Like whether it's Franklin or Nike or Bruce Bolt or whatever, it's like, all right, just give me something. I just need something in my hands here.
right.
It's when there's a little bit of meaning behind it. That's what I like. What about the custom gloves?
Yeah, so the custom, hang on, let me go grab one real quick.
Let me see.
So, for example, we got a few gloves in today, like this one, this Hulk one,
Cool.
kind of cool, crown tip, snakeskin, um, catcher's glove.
Oh, look at this. Oh, you should get hooked up with the Savannah Bananas.
Yeah, yeah. I've started reaching out to a lot of different companies
Dude
and
on
teams.
dude on from the Party Animals, and look at this
I
thing.
saw that. I saw that one, and this was the first baseman glove I made.
This thing is wild.
So we can do pretty much anything. I'm sorry.
Did somebody order that, or you just get that made?
No, no, I just made them because I partnered with a company here called Diamond Sports Academy.
Okay, I saw it on your website. Yeah.
Yeah, so they gave us like a whole wall and retail store. So I just put stuff up there, and they got a ton of traffic every day. A couple hundred kids coming in and out of there,
What a
parents and everything.
great place, part of the world to be selling baseball, man.
Yeah, yeah. So we can do pretty much anything. I just thought it was real cool, and like, our price point's real good. Um, like I said, I'm not trying to get rich off this thing.
How much?
I really,
How much is a
I'm
custom glove?
so a custom glove right now is 179 plus
That's
shipping.
that's nothing, dude. I mean,
Yeah,
I did myself a 44 a couple years ago. I still have it because I got the super stiff, but super reasonable, super fun, and I'm looking on TV and I'm like, oh, big leaguers are wearing these. This is
yeah,
wild.
yeah, yeah. It's super cool. So I mean, that's cool that that you're gonna link up with Harrison,
Yeah,
for us. I'll send him some gloves, and maybe we'll end up making him a custom glove or something.
yeah.
Um, we're always looking to tap into the market any way we can. Not only
Lots of minor leaguers. I got Joe Redfield, who's with the Angels, coming on the podcast soon. He's double A right now, but he's center fielder. Mike Trout just went down, so I just said, hey, what are you doing?
right, he's down for the rest of the year.
Yeah, so we got some dude from the Hartford Yard Goats, and yeah, lots of minor leaguers coming on here. So yeah, we'll get the word out.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
we really appreciate it, man. And like I said, it's not about pushing it out there for the money. It's just all about what it means. And if people can really embody the no surrender mindset and attitude and have that never quit, never give up, and never surrender to your, not even to just anybody else, to your own mind, right?
What's your? I just think it'd be super cool for your kid, man. Like
Yeah,
dad makes his company, no surrender, and then these dudes start wearing it, and it's like, wow, this is real. Like these guys
yeah,
are real. This is no surrender is a real thing. And
yeah,
it's like not just the brand, but the mindset behind it and the everything you talk about. Because well, you will know. I don't know how old your kids are, but I have a 16-year-old, and I know I work with a lot of parents, and they're basically like, it doesn't matter for me. It doesn't matter how much I know. I'm just dad. It's like, okay, dad.
yeah,
I don't care what your resume looks like. You're my dad. Right?
yeah.
So with you, it's like having these credentials behind you. The kids buy in a little bit more.
Yeah, it's real cool, and like I spent a lot of time at like DSA and stuff because I mean I played ball for a long time, and that's kind of what made me who I am today. Just like
Where did you
what you,
play college ball?
I played college ball at Butte Community College, and then Indiana Tech, and
Yeah,
then New Mexico.
yeah, nice.
Yeah, so been to all those places, and played a little indie ball,
Yeah,
and then played overseas a little bit.
okay.
Never made it to the show or anything, but really,
Sure, or a second baseman.
I was a center fielder.
Center fielder,
Yeah,
wheels.
yeah.
You're like
So
you're like a Lenny Dykstra.
yeah, so I'm 5'10", and I was fast. When I played, I was 205, 210. Right now I'm 245, 250. So
Yeah,
it's a big difference, but
right.
that was my skill was defense and speed.
Cool.
What kept me out of going further was the hitting aspect of it. And, you
Mm-hmm.
know, a lot of guys learning what I couldn't hit, right? So
Absolutely. Like Harrison talked about that. He's like, it was in low A, single A. He's like, I could draw a walk, and I knew I was going to get a pitch hit. Double A, these guys pick me apart.
yeah, it's
Pick me,
everybody's watching video, man.
yeah,
Everybody's watching video.
yeah. So center fielder, I love it. What position your kid plays? He all over the place, or what?
He plays the outfield typically. I like him in the outfield. He likes the outfield. Sometimes he comes in and plays second base, and sometimes he pitches.
Okay.
But he's a little guy.
Yeah.
But he's definitely got some skills, and we're just trying to hone in on him every single day. The best part about him is he's really gotten into baseball a lot more this past couple of years, and my wife has always said like, don't push him, don't push him, don't push him too much, because like I'm kind of a driver, and
Yeah.
so
It's you talk about that. Don't push, don't push, don't push, and there's a fine line. It just depends on the parent you're talking to, because some parents know how to push properly, and some parents
right,
are pushing because they're overcompensating for something else, or it's just
right.
I truly believe you should push your kids.
Yeah,
You should encourage the hell out of them to do cool shit all the time.
yeah, I
But
agree.
it's some people are doing it, and there's some questions I'm looking forward to asking your kids. You have how old is he, 10?
He's gonna be 10 Monday. Yeah. Hmm.
Okay, so Texas, 10-year-old baseball. How huge is it? How crazy is it? Like how
It's
much?
massive.
It's insane, isn't it?
Yeah, it's massive. It's not only like how the game, like when we played. I don't know how you are. About 45 years old and 46,
Yeah.
and everybody, we worked hard, right? We worked hard. We did what hit hundreds of balls off tees. We did whatever we did. But now it's like you got all these coaches, these trainers, these tools, and everything else, and like all these kids are just bigger, faster, stronger, cooler, funner. It's just insane, right? And out here, I mean, in California, it was big too. Everybody's a star.
Absolutely. California, Arizona, Texas. I mean, Florida.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
huge.
And we come out here, it's the same thing, right? Travel ball's a little bit different out here than it is California, which I like a lot better.
But
Obviously, yeah, it's some of the places still are a money grab and some aren't. But, it's fun. And being included in the community here at Diamond Sports Academy has just been great for us. But for Brock to step in here, he really was just like a weekend player in California, played little league and travel ball, but like he was a gamer and got into it. But out here, he's like comes home, drops his bag, Want to go to the cages? You know, every single day. Want to go to the cages? Want to go to the field? Want to go to the cages? And that's what a parent can ask for, right? It's just what we can ask for most out of our kids is just the want.
Crossing my fingers. I have three daughters, so hopefully one of them wants to go to the cage.
There's the guy grabbing his custom mate, actually. Hold on a second. Sorry.
Your thing, and I can just edit this out.
Okay, perfect. Hold on a second. Hey, Jasani. You can go, brother. Yeah, let me know how you like it. Yes, sir. Appreciate it. I'll give you a shout right after this call. Thank you, sir. Sorry about that.
It's all good. I like hearing yes, sir, with him.
So that's another thing in Texas, right? You know, in California, you go to a restaurant, you go wherever, it's like, you know, you give your order and the guy's like, all right, bet, right? You know, or, you know, gotcha, or yeah, no problem, you know, whatever it is. Here, it's yes, sir, no, sir, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. Like, no matter where you go here, everybody has so much respect, and it's just, it's amazing. We love it.
Yeah, I mean, again, I got an opportunity to move to Texas when I was 17, and what an experience. You know, I have lifelong friends there. I feel like go back there, I feel right in. But the four most important words I learned down there were yes, sir, no, sir. You know, wherever you are, you know, anybody, it doesn't matter. It's and you can see when I used to coach summer ball, it was really neat because you'd see the Southern kids, you'd see the West Coast kids, you see the East Coast kids. You know right away who's who. And they're like,
yeah,
dude, call me Curtis. I get it. I appreciate the hell out of it. Stop calling me sir. You know? It's like, I'll stop your sir.
But back, sorry to interrupt. I do apologize. He just showed up out of his glove, came in for his nephew. So, but yeah, the baseball out here, it's you know, it could be probably scary for some people, you know, and they're all putting in work, man. There's not, for people that want to play ball, they are putting in the work out here, and I love it.
At 10.
Yeah, at 10.
Oh, and this is for anybody listening to my podcast regularly, they're like, oh, you can skip forward a bit here. This is why I created this podcast. I talk about this with every guest. I live in Canada. I work with kids up here, and they hire me, and they use me as a resource. And they go, Curtis, what should I do? Give me direction, coach me. And I go, okay. You want to get to college? You want to do this? You want to do whatever it is? Here is your roadmap. And they go, okay, cool. And then a week later, they're doing something completely different. I'm like, okay, well, I'll just sit back here and, you know, not, you know, whatever. What do I know? What do I know? I've only been everywhere you want to go and know everybody where you want to go. So what do I know? So I was like, okay, I want to start a podcast. I'm going to get people on. And I know everybody I talk to will reinforce the message that, because in Canada, it's like, there's just unrealistic expectations up here because we don't have the culture. We're not exposed to it daily. You know, when I talk to a kid, like, okay, give me your goals. You know, kid in, you know, say freshman in high school. What are your goals? Well, I want to go to Vanderbilt. I'm like, do you know what that means? Like, do you understand what that means? And where you are right now, physically, mentally, emotionally, educationally, does not translate. You can't go there right now. Like, they're probably already full for your age group on a whiteboard somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay, so next, and this is what I did in my Mindset U class. Like, I told them, I said, I already know your big dream goals. After a month of work, tell me your realistic goals based on where you are right now. And I haven't got the results back, but it should be D2, JUCO, mid-major. You know, those are realistic. There's one or two in there that might be able to say, you know, Oregon or, you know, something like that. You know, a Power 4 school, maybe, but you know, definitely not a Vandy or an LSU or a Tennessee. So
yeah, you got these kids committing at like 14 years old. It's
you can't, which is good.
Yeah, but it was crazy, like hearing some of these stories. You know, and I tell a lot of kids here, you know, because obviously we played, right, and they're like naming all these schools off, and I was like, you know, that's awesome. Man, that is awesome. You're getting letters and stuff. I said, I'm going to give you one piece of advice: go where you're gonna play. Because if you go just because of the name and you're not playing for 4 years, you're never going to be seen. I mean, You may think like it's so cool going to University of Texas or wherever you're going to go, and you can say that to people and feel good about it. But go where you can play. It doesn't matter if it's D1, D2, NAIA, whatever it is. If you are playing every single day, you're going to be seen more than the guy who's not.
But unfortunately, I feel like that's the whole goal is the social currency of social media of like
Yeah,
of that after 4 or 5 years of school having 5 garbage bags full of gear, not about playing and getting somewhere. Like honestly, I know that with some people, they
yeah,
want it so bad. They like the idea of college baseball, not actually playing at a JUCO every day when it's 110. There's not a lot of water around. Coach is screaming at you, and you got to do it again for another 4 hours tomorrow on practice. And then you're playing a inner squad, and you don't even know when it's going to end. They're going to bring the hack attack out, and you're going to keep going. Right? And it's
yeah,
hard. It's just real, real hard. And especially up here. I mean, that's the way I tell kids. Like, you think you're good here? You're good here. Big fish, small pond. You go to Texas, there's 1,000 of you falling out of every tree in every county. That's just how it goes. So it's and even the Harrison who I had on the other day, so it was the same for him. It doesn't matter where you live, your expectations have to be realistic, and
yeah, absolutely.
you have to. I'll give you another example. I just got an email from a parent this morning. They live out in New York. One of my clients. He's been doing this show ball stuff, and it's been great. He's been banging. He hit a bomb yesterday, triple. Well, I got a really great letter of a D3 program that really wants it real bad, and I know he doesn't want to go there. He has his heart set on a D1 school. But I said to him, like, listen, I know where your head's at, and I know where your heart's at. But I'll give you 2 examples of 2 past guests I just had on. The kid from the Savannah Bananas played D3 for 4 years because of all the COVID stuff. Ended up going to Arizona State. 2 years at Arizona State. Anybody's dream school.
Yep.
And then another kid who's from Minnesota. I mean, shoot, at one point in his baseball career, he was only playing slow pitch intramural slow pitch in San Diego. He couldn't even get a walk on anywhere. Ended up signing at Tennessee. Ended up actually getting drafted by the Marlins this year, right? 14th round. So it's like, dude, you got to go where you can play.
Yeah.
You got to go where you can play. It doesn't matter where you are. There are area scouts everywhere.
Yeah.
The transfer portal is a beautiful thing now.
Which they did not have that, just like, if you got in trouble in school or something happened or you got a bad coach or you weren't playing, you couldn't transfer same year and play somewhere. You couldn't. You were stuck.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like, oh, I'll just go here and go here.
But there was a real kind of negative aura that came with that.
Yeah.
Who's this guy think he's going to sit out a year and come play for us? What's he going to do after a year of not playing? It was a hard thing to do, transfer.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, you basically had to do D1, you had to go JUCO or something.
Yep, that's exactly, or NAIA, right? And that's at Indiana Tech where I played. It was kind of, we got all the guys from D1 typically there. Either some of us didn't have the grades or whatever it was. We ended up there and ended up going to the NAIA World Series. But you were getting kids in December mid time, and it's like, man, who's going to take my job? It's like,
totally.
All right, well, you got to keep trucking,
But what else is going on? What else is shaking? So you got your gloves, you got all this going on. How long you been in Texas? A year?
Almost a year. October would be a year. Yeah. I had corporate life.
Let me ask you, and you don't have to answer this. Just lost your job. What are you going to do?
You know what? I don't know. I've obviously been applying for more corporate job, right? That's just I've been a high level executive for years.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that I have the talent to go somewhere and get picked up, just like in baseball, right? You got talent, you can go somewhere and you can get picked up. I don't know how long it's going to take. Hopefully not long, but at the same time, it's given me a lot of time to focus on no surrender and really do some different things and kind of work with my son this last part of the summer to design some new stuff and really, really just go from there. But I mean, I have to tell you, yeah, the mindset that hit me that day and where I was for the next couple days was not good, because you start thinking about, well, I was making this much per month and now I got zero coming in, and you only, you only got so many months of reserves, and it's like those aren't supposed to be for reserves. Those are supposed to be,
Looking at a calendar, real different.
yeah. So, and then, you just start thinking like, man, um, I didn't even see this coming. And then, everybody's always calling me and telling me like, listen, Tony, you're the one who trains everybody else about mindset. Now you're all fucked up, like, what's the deal? And I'm just like, you're right. And it's just like, snap back. Okay, let's roll. Let's go to work.
You have people in your life you talk to, like like who's you do a really close inner circle that you're able to bounce stuff off like this with?
Yeah. So there's a lot of us kind of guys that, that have been practicing, mindset and motivation and visualization for many years. And there's a lot of us that have gone through, hard times and jobs and marriages and, lost kids or whatever it may be. And so we always, I have a good support group, which is good. My wife is amazing. She's my best friend, and we can just sit here and conversate about anything and like pick each other up and or bury each other if you need to. Like, it just has to be that way. And
Cool unit. You guys just picked up Munch, Texas. What a
yeah,
cool thing. You guys are your own thing.
yeah, it's awesome. We it's probably the best decision we've ever made in our lives. It was kicked around for years. I kept telling like, let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. It's like everything's here. Whole family's here. There's nobody there. Like we have nobody.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, like, just starting in Sebastian's like, let's go check it out.
Ha!
We came out here within a week. We were like, we bought something. We sold our house in Sacramento and picked up and moved. So,
My wife and I have been in the same conversation. We have 16-year-old daughter, but we also have 2.5-year-old twin daughters.
oh man, yeah. So we have a 19-year-old, 16-year-old, and a 9-year-old going to be 10.
Yeah. So we're looking at our 2.5, almost, moving on to 3-year-olds going, all right, we got a couple years here before they really start school. What do we want to do? Canada ain't what it was,
No,
different up here, and it's not
it's
awesome.
it's very different. Just from me flying in there several times over the last year, I had to even ask somebody. I said, "What? How's the? I mean, it's all like Asian people everywhere
Boy.
in the airport. It's like, what happened? I don't know. Understand like what's
Mm-hmm.
going on here?" And it was crazy to me. Like I spoke to 10 people that were from Russia, some people from Israel, some people from Asia, and like I didn't speak to one person from Canada when I was there.
Yeah, I mean Victoria is about as white Canadian as you'll get. You get on a ferry and you go over to Vancouver. You're looking, everything's in Mandarin and
Yep,
English.
yep, yeah.
That's how it is,
It was
right?
very crazy for me to see. I mean, it's just like California too, right? But it was just
Yep.
different there from when I've been there in the past.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's been a lot with our government going on here. Like you moved out of Sacramento with the crime and the homelessness. I mean, it's happening here. It's happening here. It's not a good scene where I'm from.
Yeah,
With the drugs, and I mean drugs were legal for a good portion of time here, and we don't live far from a hospital, so there's drug dealers waiting outside the hospital, just waiting for people to get out. And you're like, hey, here's some more. Cool. What a great place to sell drugs. But
that's
but yeah, my wife and I, because I went to school in Texas. We got friends, and my roommate in college, he's a bench coach in Round Rock with the Express, and I keep bugging him. I'm like, come on, man. So I actually was looking at real estate in Round Rock and put my email address and because I had to see more. And sure shit,
yeah.
I got a phone call the next day from a realtor in Round Rock. We ended up talking for like 2 hours. Like, this is okay. This is all right. So I don't know. Might be a thing. We might be down there. I mean, I'd be down there in a heartbeat. It's just a little bit harder for a Canadian to just move to Texas.
Right. Yeah.
Right. A couple of visa deals you got to do there, but majority of my clients are American. So
The cool thing is that, you know, the price point of things, right? It's just in Canada, it's expensive.
well,
You
I
know.
was sharing some housing prices with because they're in North Carolina. You know, it's like, hey, well, here's what you can get for $2 million in Canada. It's a a busted up shoebox.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
He lives on. I believe I saw he lives on some property and stuff. So
yeah.
yeah, that's pretty cool.
They got a new cage built. They got it going on there.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. But, so tell me about. So do you offer obviously mindset coaching and regular baseball coaching, correct?
I'm at a point now where I only offer the mechanical and the baseball side if you do the mindset side. I'm
I
not.
see.
I don't. I've done it for so long that I could cash checks all day. It's fine. Like I could be like, hey, put a quarter in the machine. Hey, Johnny, your swing looks good. All right, use your lower half. Great. See you next week to do it all over again. It
Right.
doesn't. I know that it's a racket, and for me now, I want quality. I demand quality. So if you're not in the mindset program, I know the physical won't last.
Yeah.
Right? Like what are we doing here? Hey, can I book you for 3 sessions to work on my swing? Hey, you can, but I'll probably spend the first 3 sessions just talking, and viewing your previous swings. We're not just going to get out there and start, banging balls right away. If we do, then you can get your dad to do that. So yeah, I do. I love it. I was a catcher. I've been a hitting coach for a long, long time as well. Scout, like recruiter, coach. I've done it all for 20 years. And but the mindset side is something that is just such a missing piece. The day to day. And Mindset U is all about that. We're just into my first month of actually Mindset U first class. And the first month has been very elementary. It's been sharing your screen time every day. Doing your morning form, doing your PM form, just some non-negotiables that you have to do every day. Okay, is your school done every day? And we have to be able to, again, the easy shit. Okay, now I know you can do the easy shit every day. Now we're going to bump it up to do some self-affirmation, some affirmations every day. We're going to see if you can handle 3 minutes of affirmations in a mirror a day talking to yourself. Okay, let's do that for 2 weeks. And this is why I say, there's a lot of people say, well, I think my kid's too young. I said, I completely disagree. The older they get, the harder it's going to be.
Yeah.
The older they get, the cooler they think they are, and the more they don't need this shit.
Yeah.
The younger they are, it's all they know. So, I have a few 12-year-olds, 14-year-olds, 16 and 17-year-olds, and that's kind of where we're at right now. But I'll tell you, a kid like Sam is, and so everything in Mindset U, so it's process driven. There's a process. Everything is a process. But every process has a numeric value. And at the end of it, we add up every week the numeric value of process. And your outcome is that giant number. So the kids understand that, okay, if I want real outcome, I have to dial in my process. And sure, a kid like Sam is winning. He's 12.
Yeah.
12. But his process is locked in. Schedule's on, everything's on point.
And that's hard, it's extremely hard. A lot of people look at me and they're always like, how do you do all the stuff that you do before anybody even gets up? Because, I get up at 3:30 a.m. I jump in the sauna.
You got me beat. I get 4. Right?
I jump in the sauna. I get in the cold tub, and then I go work out. That's just how it works, and do I want to do that shit every single morning? No.
Do you do sauna then cold plunge?
I do sauna then cold, and always in with cold.
Okay.
Yeah, always in with cold.
I don't have a, but I do the cold plunge.
It's amazing, right? I made one out of a freezer. It's awesome.
To reset.
Yeah. It's but like you said, it's processes that get you the end thing. And for me, it's really focusing on the solution that comes out of it for me. And it really requires a lot of optimism on my end and a lot of faith and positivity. And for me right now, it's really easy to fall into that negative thought patterns when things aren't going as planned. However, when I choose to focus on the solution and the processes that I have every single day, I become more optimistic. I become more excited about future opportunities. I become more of a beast. I become more of somebody that nobody else can touch, and I have that no surrender attitude. That's just who it is, and I think that is just all about maintaining the processes, maintaining the optimism, and maintaining the faith to move yourself forward.
Well, it would be very easy for you to go, you know what? I just need a break right now. I'll start all this stuff off again when I start working. But right now, I need to just focus on finding a job or focus on meeting people. When in reality, it's hard to start that stuff again. It's hard to get back on routine. If you can do it in the hard times, man, it's so much easier in the good times.
What's funny is I told myself, I was like, fuck it, use this time to get even better. Like, I was like, use this time to go 2 days in the gym instead of one, to do this instead of that, to do this instead of that. Like, instead of like doing this that you barely had time for before, like, let's kick it up a notch. So when you do find a job, you're a fucking specimen, like,
Yeah,
let's do this.
good for you, man. I mean, that's a hard mindset to have. A lot of people with what's happened to you right now will turn to the absolute worst. And something I actually work in as well. I'm actually a recovery coach. I work with some athletes who are struggling with addiction because I went through that, and I went to rehab and went through it all. And oh shit, man, the position you're in right now is usually when people go, all right,
Yeah.
let's have a drink here and
Yeah.
wait,
It's the
and
negativity for me. It's starting to speak negative thoughts into existence. And really, I've even just, a couple of days ago when it first happened, I'm like, fuck, man, you're a loser. What the fuck is going on here? Like,
yeah,
you got no job. Like, what just happened? Like, and you start falling down that path. And, it's easy for me. And like, sometimes
well,
I think of like, I tell myself that shit just to slap myself back. I don't know what it is, you
yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah. It could be that pre-game, you're a bitch kind of mentality and slap yourself kind of deal. But it's you're talking about uncontrollables, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's again. That's why we need coaches in our life. This is why I have friends. I have people who are coaches who
Absolutely.
we talk 10 times a day. Hey, I have a personal trainer. He's a good friend of mine. Called me the day he's down. He's like, I'm trying to lose weight. What should I do? I'm like, dude, you're the trainer. Why are you calling me? Be like me calling you to learn how to hit oppo. Like, it's cool. But he just needed a voice, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I think we all do, and
You need that in your life. And
I've
it's
talked
not.
about that in previous podcasts. I was like, if you don't have a coach, if you don't have somebody or people in your corner that's really driving you or that you can lean on, then you're not doing it right. You're not going to where you can be.
I mean, ego gets in the way of that. There's like my buddy Chase, who's with the Rangers, says, baseball. Well, what did he say? It's either you're humble or it'll humble you. That's life, though.
Yeah.
That's life. You'll get humbled real quick if you're not doing it right, or if you're not trying, or if you're not, reaching out. And this is a cool time we're at where everyone's talking about mental health and men's health and this and that. It's a little bit more acceptable than when we were playing. And everyone was
Right.
like, feelings? No, shut the fuck up. Get back to your position. I get water? No, you could die. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
That's how someone play.
Yeah. And it's like, when I stop yelling at you, then there's a problem. It's like,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, I remember, coaches yelling at me, fucking cut off, man. What the fuck? Just screaming. I wanted to ask you a question since I got you on here, about these kids, these younger kids. And what you see a lot of kids walking on and off the field or taking forever to get their stuff. And then they're moseying out there. And, what I try to tell my son and what I prided myself on to try to even be seen was be the fastest one on and off the field. The fastest one. It doesn't matter what it takes. Doesn't matter how tired you are. Be the fastest person on the field. And they're just not understanding the point or concept of the hustle. And I don't know how to explain it any better than,
So I think we're in a space now where we're getting coaches now who are younger, their late 20s, early 30s, a little bit more concerned about their pant length and their resume than actually doing the real work. And actually, you know, and a lot of these coaches are I don't mean to sound like a dick, but are kind of like cops. They're the dorks in high school who get a fucking badge now and they think they're badass. So they were the shitty players on their team who are now coaching this travel team and they think they're the shit.
right,
So they really know a lot of these things. They weren't privy to them. So they're coaching these teams and they're not worried about the little nuances of the game. I started a college program up here and I started to run it, and I'll tell you, that was the rule number one was pace. That was the thing we had to learn and keep up with. And it wasn't because of our league or anything like that. It's because eventually that's how life goes. Eventually life has pace and you have to keep up with pace. And I had Coach Eddie Smith on, who he's a head coach at UW now. He was a coach at LSU, he's coach at Notre Dame, Virginia. And it was really cool how he said it was, we got to teach these freshmen how to get their motor running faster. Like, that's the first thing we do when they get here. Is like, okay, this is not like your high school practice. Okay, we finished the drill. You're expected to be here now. Your shoes are supposed to be done up. You're supposed to be at this meeting. You're supposed to know the signs. 3 hours before, you should have memorized the practice plan. Have it in your back pocket. Like, there's no excuse. There's no time for these little things. And yes, I agree. I see it all the time. Kids are moseying up. They're pimping everything and take 6 minutes to get a fucking oven mitt on when they get on first base and they don't even know how to dive head first. It's like,
yeah,
it's like let's okay, what are we doing here? It's a show game now,
yeah,
unfortunately.
yeah.
But it's I don't know. We'll see a turn.
I
But
like it though. I mean, it is cool, right?
social
It is
media
cool.
is what is doing this to us all.
Yeah, yeah,
We sound old as shit talking like this, but we are, in a sense, to a lot of
yeah,
these
yeah,
kids.
yeah,
And I could say it all day, and they look at me and they go, "Okay, cool, man. Whatever." It's like,
yeah.
okay, fine, that's fine. But I guarantee you, when you're 21, 22, and you're fucking working at Home Depot, you're gonna be like, "Damn it, I wish I listened to Coach Curtis."
Right. Yep.
So, and again, I always just say when kids say or coach, I'm like, oh, fuck, what do I know? What do I know? I don't know what I'm talking
I always go, all right, coach. Thanks, coach. I appreciate it.
But the thing is that U1 coaches and JUCO coaches they're in those spots for a reason, and they do have an old school mentality, and the winners win, and the winners win because of these little things that they do right all the time.
Yeah.
And that is getting the motor going, paying attention, not worrying about the extra shit, worrying about your batting gloves as cool as they are.
Right.
Fuck, dude, they're just gloves. They
I
serve
agree.
a purpose. Yes, they're pretty. I had a rule on my team, like I had a haircut. I had 3 guys quit. It was like perfect. You were the 3 I was hoping would quit because I did an eye black rule for first year players.
Indiana Tech, we had to be clean shaven every day. He would line us
Yeah,
up
yeah,
and look at our face, and if we weren't clean shaven, he would grab the razor and he would shave it right there in front of everybody.
absolutely.
And we all, and when we warmed up, we all threw at the exact time, caught at the exact time. We all wore our pants the same. We all did everything the exact same, and we won.
Yeah, we won. Very good, very good. I love that we all threw the same. There was intent behind your throwing. You had to keep up. You had to do everything right. We'll wrap it up here, Tony. If I could end with this, ask you a question. Anything you recommend to anybody right now, reading wise? If you're a reader or a book past, I'm always looking for new stuff.
I read. There's actually a book that I read all the time. It's not even a book. It's the Prosperity Bible.
Okay.
It's just this big book in its Prosperity Bible. It has tons of affirmations after affirmations after affirmations, and it's right here. Actually, I'll show it to you. It looks like this.
Okay.
And I tell you what, this thing, I love it.
Cool.
I open it up every day. I don't go page by page. I
That's
just
great.
open it up and I pick something and I read it.
Neat.
And it has all sorts of stuff. Fullness of peace. It's really cool. It's just like the secrets of prosperity in the mind, in the body. And this is something that I read every single day, but also other books that I read. The one that I just finished is Stop Managing, Start Coaching: How to Build a Winning Team.
Okay.
Pretty good. I always read stuff about mindset. I always read stuff to I want to make myself better, because when I make myself better, I can make somebody else better. And just whatever I hear that's going good. I listen to a lot of books too
Me
when I drive.
too.
Because at night, my wife and I, we have a deal to where we read 15 minutes or 10 pages, whatever it is, before we go to bed. And then in the morning, she usually reads the Bible, and I'll use this or the Bible or something. And then during the day, if I'm driving somewhere, I'll listen to a book. But
Yeah.
I think that people, if they don't read or if they don't listen to anything, they're not giving themselves any favors, because this is going to make you sharper. Not only that, it's just going to make you better in groups. It's going to make you better mentally, physically, everything. I mean, reading is God's gift, right?
I think it's even more important when you're in times where you're struggling a little bit, to not, if you have that habit of reading 10 pages a night or 15 minutes, when shit's going bad, no, you keep doing it, because that's what keeps you on point. I think it's
Right.
just so important to keep those routines. And yeah, it's massive. It's massive. It's part of our non-negotiables. It's 10 pages a day. With the
Right.
mindset.
Yep. You got to do it, man. You got to
Yeah,
do it.
yeah.
But I appreciate you having us on, and I look forward to doing future things with you, and I'll be, hopefully send some people your way to get that mind right.
Anything you want to plug, other than I'm going to do a full intro for you, and I'll put all your links in below, or anything else you want to plug here, bro?
Man, you know what? I really don't like really hardcore plugging a lot of stuff. I think if if you like what No Surrender stands for, and you like who we are, and you think we make cool shit, give us a shot.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we'll wrap it there, Tony. Thanks
All right.
for coming on,
Appreciate
brother.
it, Curtis. Thank
Just
you.
gonna keep you on for 1 second till
Yeah.
stop.
How's my hair? Is it good?